Hi guys, coming at you here today with a Mele DPS raid, specifically raid tier list. We're going to hop on in, we're going to make this quick video. I just want to go over my thoughts on what the strongest Mele DPS classes are at the moment, and how it will continue as we progress and see more of mythic raiding for the average raider. So, let's hop on right on in with what I think is a decently strong class, especially on Sylvanas. We have the Arms Warrior. Now, I don't think this is an S tier class, but I do believe it's an A tier class. You do need warriors, period, in your raid, because Rallying Cry is really good, Battle Shout is really good, and they have a lot of good damage. So for that reason, the utility it brings to the raid, I would say you at least need mandatory 1, right? And then you could make a good argument to bring 2 of these. We're going to hop on into their brother, though, Fury Warrior, who I don't believe is doing as well. Now, it is true that they have a really good execute phase, but Sylvanas doesn't have an execute phase. There's never a point where they're getting to that, on the final boss of the tier. And that one boss actually changes quite a lot. It makes them quite, not worthless on the last boss, but if you're fighting Sylvanas, you're going to take an Arms Warrior over a Fury Warrior every single time. And for that reason, Fury Warrior is going to be put in my B tier. Moving right along, we're going to go to Enhancement Shaman. Enhancement Shaman has actually been quite good this tier, and Windwalking Totem has been extremely strong for multiple fights, from Soul Render Dormazane, Sylvanas, the Bridges. Very good utility. Honestly, I'm going to put these in A tier because I think you need at least 1. And I don't think it's bad to bring 2. They have good damage. They have good utility. And I think they're an A tier class right now. Feral Druid, however, not so much. Feral Druid has seen a lot of big damage, but Balanced Druid is just better at everything. Bigger damage from Balanced Druid, bigger single target blow up, bigger AoE cleave with Starfall for, things like Domination Chains. Honestly, Feral Druid, I don't think it's C tier. I think it's B tier. But I think it's a low B tier, because everything it can do, Balanced Druid can do better, and you want to take the Balanced Druid generally. But this is a Mele DPS tier list, so we'll keep it in the B tier for now, unless we see something that's clearly better that should be there. And moving right along, Assassination Rogue. Rogues are pumping. I mean, I just insane damage. Just insane damage. Let's just look at this, right? This is, let's see. Well, this looks really bad, but it is on Mythic. Let's see. Yeah, Sub-Rogues, Assassination Rogues, both on the top. Third of the classes, but for Mele DPS, I mean, you only have 1, 2, Arms Warrior, which we already talked about, insanely broken class, Sub-Rogue. Sub-Rogue is where the damage is right now, it's big, but Assassination Rogue is not far behind, something about 400 DPS less, but, you know what, I'm changing my mind based on that. I'm going to put Assassin Rogue in A, but Sub-Rogue in S. Absolutely Sub-Rogue is going in S, because, I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. And the reason I'm switching to Heroic instead of Mythic, we just had a lot more time to get the actual kind of how the layout's going in Heroic right now. Whereas in Mythic, most guilds are 3 out of 10. Some are hitting the 4 out of 10 mark. Obviously, the world first have hit 10 out of 10. But almost the majority of Mythic Raiders have not. And for that reason, it's kind of, we need to wait and see where these are actually going to stand. Because obviously, Sub-Rogue's not a middle of that class. It's probably the top right now. Assassination Rogue is not this bad. Outlaw Rogue is kind of down there, but, these are a little bit skewed. Shadow Priest is not this bad. BM Hunter is closer to Marksman Hunter. So these are kind of skewed right now. I think Heroic is a little bit easier to gauge. And for that reason, these rankings are kind of how I see them right now. But it is my opinion. If you have different opinions, definitely let me know. But moving right along, Year of the Spear, baby. Year of the Spear, Survival Hunter. It's not terrible. if you can play it really well, it does have good sims. I guess it is kind of. I mean, and Mythic, it's one of the top 3, but right now, if you're in Mythic, you're probably insane anyways. If you're playing Survival Hunter, but it is for Heroic, kind of lower. I think it's pretty trash, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever. We're gonna put it in C tier and leave it alone for now. Let's see, what should we do next? Frost DK. DKs are so good for 2 reasons. One, grip is mandatory for Soul Render Dormazane. You cannot do the fight. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot kill the fight if you do not have a DK. Unless you have a very coordinated team that can push with Boomkins and Hunters, knocking the adds together. But if you don't, you cannot kill the fight without grip. It's just too strong. I think Frost is actually a lot weaker than Unholy at the moment. But I think the utility brings is still mandatory. Unholy is really, really good right now. I would say easily A tier. Whereas Frost is probably B tier. Frost is just the worst version of Unholy. That's all there is to it. Unholy is great. Frost is slightly worse, but both of them have the same utility in AMZ and grip. So for that reason, we're going to leave these here. Windwalker Monk. Actually pumping damage right now. So good. Gives a raid buff. And just anytime you need like adds to die, like quickly, like burst AoE, you're either bringing a Marksman Hunter or a Windwalker Monk. Like that's what you're bringing. You're bringing one of those 2 classes. Melee DPS tends to be a little bit worse, but Windwalker is doing a lot of damage. Really good on Sylvanas, really good on Kel'Thuzad, really good on the 9, really good on Soul Render Dormazane. Lots of fights that this class is insane on. So for that reason, definitely bring Windwalker Monk. S tier for me. Sub Rogue. We are gonna Sub Rogue's not bad. It's just not great. I don't think it's Survival Hunter bad, but I don't think it's as good as Outlaw or Assassin is right now. So for that reason, B tier. It's not bad. It's not great. Cloak is nice for the 3rd platforms on Sylvanas. Other than that, it's okay. Havoc DH, raid buff, big dam, big single target dam, big AoE dam, multiple builds, very versatile, insane mobility. What can you not say about this class? Absolutely S tier. Bonkers good right now. Huge damage. I love it. Like yes, like play this class. Momentum, if you can play it, really freaking good. And if not, I-Beam's still really freaking good. Like, this class is so good. So good right now. And you need that raid buff anyways, so you're mandatory bringing 1, and it's pretty much one of the best DPS classes in the game right now. So, you're probably bringing 2 or 3. So I definitely keep that up there. Ret Pally. I don't want to put it in Survival Hunter because really, is anything as bad as Survival Hunter? But it's not good. It's not good. It's really, I think this is probably more accurate. I think move Survival down to D. Sorry, Survival Hunters. Ret Pally's pretty shit. You're going to bring a Pally, it's going to be a Holy Pally, and preferably Venthyr. Kyrion's not terrible, but have you guys ever heard of a little thing called Ashen Hollow? I mean, jeez. It heals your entire team to full health. It does 1 billion damage. What does Ashen Hollow not do? But unfortunately, as a Ret Pally, you don't get Ashen Hollow. I mean, you do get Ashen Hollow, but it's just, I don't know. You're not a healer. It's not damage. Red Pally is not as good as Holy Pally. So if you're going to play a Pally, play Holy Pally. Yeah, but that kind of concludes my thinkings on the DPS tier list. Would love to know what you guys think. If I had this completely wrong, let me know. If I had this absolutely spot on right, let me know. I really appreciate the feedback, and I just appreciate your time for watching. Thank you guys so very much for just spending a minute on my channel. If you don't mind leaving a like and subscribe, I mean, it helps me out so much. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's a long goal, but it is my goal for now. So with that being said, I really genuinely appreciate your time so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.